Hi, first grade friends. We are starting week 2 of Unit 2 of Fundations. The materials you might need for today are index cards or a notebook and a red crayon. Now, if you don't have index cards, that's perfectly all right. But maybe you might want to pick up a package of index cards at some point because we are going to be learning a lot of trick words. And trick words are words that we don't really know. We really can't sound them out. So we need to know them by looking at them. So we have to learn them really carefully. And the one of the best ways to do that is having flashcards on index cards and making our own. So today's objective is I can identify and read trick words. Our first trick word is the word ah. Now I know you're thinking, oh, that's the letter A. But when you're using the letter A as a word in a sentence, it makes a different sound. So it's really hard to sound out by looking at it. So when you pronounce A in a word, it's pronounced And notice how on my index card on the board, I wrote the letter A in red. When we're looking at trick words and writing them down, we're going to be using the color red. So how can I use the word in a sentence? Well, my sentence is, the boy has a red hat. You'll notice that word is in red to point it out to make it really visible to you. So can you think of a sentence that includes the word a? You could pause the video and tell a parent. Good. Our next trick word is and. And is really hard to sound out. So we just need to know this word by looking at it. And. If you have index cards, please write it in red. If you're writing in a notebook, you can also write it in red. Try and keep your list in one place in a notebook. So how can I use the word and in a sentence? The cat is brown and white. What kind of sentence can you think of? Please pause the video and tell a parent. And our last trick word for today is the. The makes a really different sound than if you just sounded out the T, the H, and the E by itself. The and T and sound so different. So you need to know this word just by looking at it. How can I use the word the in a sentence? That girl has the ball. Pause the video and tell your parent a sentence using the word the. Okay, now we're going to practice our letters and our sounds. So let's get ready to echo. So when you see echo the owl, that means you're going to repeat after me. A, apple, a. B, bat, b. C, cat, k. D, dog, d. E, ed, e. F, fun, f. G, game, g. H, hat, I, itch, I. J, jug, j. K, kite, k. L, lamp, l. M, man, N, nut, O, octopus, ah. P, pan, Q, queen, qu. R, rat, S, snake, s. T, top, t. U, up, V, van, v. W, wind, w. X, fox, x. Y, yellow, y. And Z, zebra, z. Good echoing. Now it's time to stretch our vowel sounds. Are you ready for A? A, apple. A, apple. Now E, ed. Ed. Good. Now itch. Make sure your nose is scrunched like it's itchy. I itch. Okay, now O. Octopus. Octopus. One more. And now we're going to stretch our arms up like we're saying the word up. Ready? You up. Point your fingers up. You up. Good stretching. So we are going to review tapping out our words when we're reading. So we're going to take our thumb to our pointer finger when we see the first sound. Then we take our thumb to our middle fingers when we see the middle sound. And then the last sound, we take our thumb to our ring finger, and then we slide fingers over our thumb when we are blending the word together. So for example, let's tap these words together. So everyone's hands should be up. And we're going to start with our pointer finger. Ready? Middle finger, ring finger, t. Now blend it together, mat. Okay, one more time. T, mat. Good. Now let's read the next word together. Let's sound this out right here. K, t, cat. One more time. K, t, cat. All right, next word. We're going to practice this one right here. Let's sound it out. K, t, cut. You should be tapping with your fingers. Next word. K, p, cup. Okay, now we're going to read this word together. Let's tap it out. Hands up. K, p, cap. Okay, one more word. Z, p, zap. Good, practicing. So now we are going to become trick word detectives. Anytime you see this picture, you are going to need to become a detective. Now remember, trick words are words that we cannot tap out, so we need to know them by looking at them. So when we're detectives, we're going to look really closely at a sentence to see if we can find any of the trick words that we learned in the beginning of this lesson. Remember, we're looking for the words a, and the. Remember, we're looking for these 3 words. Okay. Meg had the red hat. Do we see any trick words in this sentence? Look carefully. We see the word the. That is a trick word. So we circle trick words in red. So notice how the word is circled. And that is what we're going to do every time we see a trick word. We're going to circle it in the color red. So that's why you also need a red crayon. Now I am scooping my sentence to not read like a robot. Remember, we don't want to sound like Meg had the red hat. Gosh, that's so boring. We want to have expression in our voice. We want our voices to go up and down when we read. So we would read this, Meg had the red hat. We scoop our sentence and we circled our trick word. Let's see if we can replace the word the. Is there any trick word that we learned today that we could substitute? Meaning we're going to take the out and replace it with a new word. So it's still a trick word, but that it makes sense. Meg had blank red hat. What other trick word did we learn today that could fit in that sentence? Good. The word can be used in that sentence and it still makes sense. So the word is circled in red because it's a trick word, and our sentence is still scooped to read with expression. So Meg had a red hat. So let's be a sight word detective or trick word detective in this sentence. Ted had a cat and a dog. Do you notice any trick words in this sentence? Take a minute and figure it out. Let's be a detective. We have the word and in this sentence. That's a trick word. Do you see any other trick words? Good. The word is also in that sentence. But for right now, we're just looking at the word and. And now I have my scoops in my sentence to read with expression. I don't want to read it like Ted had a cat and a dog. We need to read with expression. Our voices go up and down. Ted had a cat and a dog. Notice how my voice goes up and down with the scoops. So now you're going to try and find trick words on your own. You need to be a trick word detective. So let's see, on your activities today, can you find all the trick words? Make sure that you drag the red circles around the trick words. And if you can't drag it, make sure you're editing with red in PDF. Have a great day.